Stoutland is the 5th boss of the 2020-2025 Lunar New Year event. It seems like a virtual certainty at this point that we're getting all the same raid bosses, and this one's basically a freebie, but I'll explain the fight anyway. Locations are on screen. Pause if you do need them. Johto's Route 32 is the one that I used. Should be the easiest. The rest, up to you to find. Good luck. As far as mechanics go, this is a sand fight. We tried to override sand and it reset it after a turn. Could have been a visual bug, and it is in fact permasand, but it doesn't really make sense because 35% of a sandstorm. I don't know what really reset it. You may need to set it after the second turn, or you could just ignore sand and set Tailwind to ignore its sand rush ability. Held item Silk Scarf doesn't matter all that much. How you can ignore Permaton is basically the only thing that you have to think about. For that second Tailwind, you'll need to mental herb a Murkrow or other Tailwind setter in order to set Tailwind. You really should use Murkrow though, because Prankster will allow it to go first before the boss. And its moveset, and this is really what makes the boss basically a freebie. It spams superpower, lowering its attack and defense for 2 turns before it shrugs off the drop. And if you're lucky and you get a Manectric ad, it will use Wild Charge despite the Manectric's Lightning Rod ability, saving you some damage, though boosting that Manectric special attack. And into the battle, we trick to find out that it has Silk Scarf. If you have a Flame Orb, you don't really need to do this. It nerfs its own attack with superpower enough. We set Sun initially and it gets overridden. Not quite sure what does that here. So tough to say. If you can reset weather, it could have been one of the, there's a visual bug sometimes if it is permasand that you've reset weather and it doesn't actually reset it. So unclear. I would ignore it, and I would ignore weather and just set Tailwind yourself. If you do bring an Embor, make sure you put close combat on it. It wouldn't be a cav video if I did not troll my team with a Pokemon that didn't have the move that it needed. So learn from my mistakes and bring things that have fighting attacks. You'll just do damage cap instead of 5.3%, though. That's still nothing to sneeze at. Thanks, Embor, for doing your job. Glades, Metachams, Breylooms, Heracrosses all do quite well. Things you can lead with Inner Focus, Lucario, Mienshao for Intimidate ads are nice. If you ignore ads, you stop Intimidate. We forgot to set Tailwind on this next turn, and we still take the boss out pretty easily. So most of the mechanics could even be optional, to be honest. So very easy one. Should be super simple. If you're new and you haven't been following along, I do have a written guide, which I'll link in the description, and that has a link to a prep for Lunar New Year in case you're very new and you need to get some Pokemon. I recommend fighting Pokemon there if you want to learn more about them. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, and I'm going back to bed. Later.